Let's take a look. How does it look? How does it sound? All right. Welcome. Just going to double check everything's working. 1, 2, 1, 2. Welcome. It's Meditation Monday. So, right now, where I'm at, we're having a heat wave. So we're having some, it's hot. I've had the air conditioner running a lot of the day, and there's just like this heaviness in the air. It's thick and it's hot and it's sweaty and uncomfortable. And if you like hot and humid and sweaty and that's your jam, and this is your favorite time of the year, awesome. I hope you're enjoying it. If you're uncomfortable in that situation, in that type of weather, I feel for you, but I also know that, we all need like a balance. And so when we come into these places, like I'm going to sit to meditate now, even in an uncomfortable situation, it's okay to not have it perfect, right? Like it doesn't have to always be super quiet. It doesn't always have to be like the perfect temperature. You do your best to set up your space so this way you're in a state of comfort. But there's also the other side of it, which is the awareness aspect to it, right? So when you're aware, we're mostly aware when we are in discomfort, right? We want to change things when we're in discomfort to comfort. Our brain wants comfort. Our body wants comfort. And so therefore, notice, right, what your environment is, how you feel in your body. And before needing to change it or fix it or anything like that, I'm going to sit with it, right? So I'm going to notice what I notice. Maybe it's, if it's hot, right, the sweatiness behind your knees, maybe it's the clothes on your skin, right? Notice right away, almost like the discomfort of what's going on in your situation. And if you have an option or an opportunity to change it, go ahead. But maybe sit with discomfort today. That's what we're going to notice. If we can, to sit with a little bit of space. Notice our breath in the same way we always do, but right now maybe it's not perfect, right? It doesn't have that same feeling that maybe you have when the temperature is where you want it to be. Just throwing that out there. So the first thing you want to do is maybe move your body a little bit. Not fast, but just enough to kind of notice it, right? Notice maybe it's just the shoulders. Maybe you notice the hips. And sit up nice and tall. Feel your spine so that you can feel the length of it, right? So you always kind of notice this little space above the top of the head. And then you notice the tailbone. And you try to just feel, if you can, kind of like every vertebrae of the spine as it goes, down the neck, to the back, to your seat. And just make sure there's room, right? It's not straight. It's got curves to it. It's got movements. Maybe you got scoliosis. Maybe it moves to the side. Maybe it's a hyperextended lower back, right? What you're born with. But notice it. Notice the length and the space and stuff like that. So notice the spine. Notice your whole body, right? If you can, maybe in one space, right? The shoulders, the ribs, the hips, the knees, elbows, feet. And start to notice, if you can, your breath within that body, right? So breathing in, expanding, feeling it, exhaling out, releasing it. And we're going to sit today with what is, as we always do, but with what is, even if it's something you don't really like or don't want or have a need or a craving to change. We're going to sit for a little while in that, right? I notice the temperature's higher than I'd want it to be for me. Maybe it's where you want it to be, and you can notice comfort too, right? You can notice both of those things. Your personal take, your personal experience is the thing you're noticing right now. If you'd like to, take your hands, right? Flick the fingers a little bit, palms up, and maybe just rest the backs of the hands on the knees. If that's okay, maybe that's really uncomfortable, you can even put one hand on top of the other and place it in your lap. And that could be your version of how you sit today. And you can roll the shoulders back. You can notice the length of the neck and the spine. And start to land here in this present space. It's been about 5 minutes already. So notice that you've already landed in the present moment by being aware of your breath and temperature and air and all that stuff. So as we sit, the goal is to allow thoughts to arise, to allow feelings, right? Whether good or bad, comfort and discomfort. And start to breathe in and out with awareness. Maybe it's just the awareness of being in the room that you're in. It's the awareness of how the breath feels in the body, right? Again, you can feel it wherever you feel it. It's noticing maybe a stillness, softening into this space, right? When it's really hot, you might want to come to full, complete stillness and notice, right? Quiet, stillness can be cooling. Notice your heart rate. Notice what you feel as you sit. And for the sake of this, we'll just use water, right? Cool, cold water as like our kind of focus today. So let water be something that, like a cold lake or stream, the ocean, maybe a cool shower. Kind of let that be the element that you notice today. So it's also about flow and going with the flow. So as you breathe in and out, maybe it's a noticing like your breath in and out is like the waves of the shore, right? So the water going out and in the ocean. If you notice, your breath might even sound that way. As you breathe in deeply through the nose and back out through the nose, it kind of mimics the sound of the ocean. Start to enjoy that. Enjoy your breath in and out. If you haven't already, start to close the eyes down and let yourself just experience your own breath and experience the coolness of maybe a soothing sensation of water. Maybe it's like a river or a stream kind of floating, and you're watching it sitting on a riverbank and watching that river just kind of stream on by, and you feel the cool mist or the wave of air from that. And you could use that as a visual. You can use that as a meditative focal point. And in this season of summer and the heat, you have, our fire within might be raging. There might be some elements of agitation and anger. And the water element comes in to kind of calm the flames, to soothe, to smooth out. So if that is the emotion that's taking over recently, or even now, that anger or that dissatisfaction of being with what's going on and the state of the world or how you're physically feeling, Let's take a few moments to just sit and cool ourselves off and maybe calm the flames a little bit with our own breath as you breathe in and out. If you notice that there's still a fire or flame and you're watching that in your visual of like fire moving, let there be water kind of surrounding it, right? Maybe it's like a fire that's on a raft in the middle of the river. And maybe the sound of your own breath in and out, like the ocean, like a breeze. Can allow balance between the elements. Notice the earth underneath you. Notice that water moving and flowing. Notice that fire. Notice the air, right? The wind, the breeze. Notice what you hear, right? What sound, what waves of sound do you hear, like the ocean or wind? Notice what tickles the follicles in your ear. And allow those all to kind of mingle, intertwine. Watch the dance of the elements. And watch how that flows with your breath. With each inhale and exhale, you get to choose kind of what arises within these elements. And they all have a flow to them. They all have a rhythm. Continue to breathe with awareness. Continue to sit in silence and stillness within, right? And simply allow. Allow those things to happen as they are, as they're happening naturally. Whether it's the thoughts or the feelings, the emotions, the judgments, the labels, all of it, just as it comes in, just like everything else, it also goes, ever changing, ever moving. Nothing is perfectly still. Everything changes. So just allow that to be something you're sitting with the next few minutes, and breathe all the while. As you breathe in and breathe out. If anything feels disruptive, just notice that whatever it is that's trying to maybe change and alter and disrupt, that too will fade. And you will keep coming back to this present state. Even if it means having to get up, move, and come back, that's okay too. simply notice what you can of that space within that allows all of this to happen. And trust that it will continue. The flow of energy, all of it. You just notice, let's say 5 more breaths. Breathe in and breathe out. 1, breathe in, breathe out. 2. Try to come to 5. Feel like you've comfortably sat in that space for long enough. You start to let the other senses work. Maybe it's slowly opening the eyes again. Notice if you feel any different from when you've sat to begin to now. And see if you can allow even more as you go off onto the next thing, as you stop and change, and seeing if there's some state of taking that moment to feel a discomfort and sit with it for even one breath and then change and go forward into the next moment. And there's an allowing aspect of allowing yourself to feel that and then feeling that change and the need to change it, and knowing where that place is, where it's coming from in that place. So thank yourself for arriving, for taking time out of your day to try to sit and notice what you can notice. Take a deep breath in, full breath out. Let out some hot air maybe. And then thank yourself for arriving. I thank you for joining me. I hope you have a good rest of your Meditation Monday and the rest of your week and all that fun stuff. Stay cool if you're taught by you. And take it easy.